Ladies and gentlemen, this is Felipe speaking with an early bird special regarding the Super Bowl halftime reports. We're actually producing this episode as this Super Bowl is happening, but I needed to report as soon as possible to the audience that the Super Bowl halftime show has once again gone full demonic. Call it Illuminati. I don't care. It's just... Honestly, at this point, I think it's completely inappropriate. And I'm going to show you all kinds of examples why these imageries, these symbols, the wording that they're using, why it's completely inappropriate. And just to kind of sum it up as quickly as I can, it just seems like whoever directed the Super Bowl halftime show with Abel McEnonen, and he's the lead singer from The Weeknd. And as you can see him receiving this Illuminati-looking trophy from the American Music Awards on November 22 and wearing this weird kind of got screwed up type of surgical kind of thing, like as if you just came out of the hospital. It seems like the halftime report takes a very similar approach or theme with these demonic-looking artificial intelligence beings on the background, as you can see. It's like, come on, like... You know, I'm not stupid, right? I studied social psychology. I understand that people are highly susceptible to subliminal messages. I understand that the masses can be driven to do certain things that, you know, a single individual cannot be predicted. But when you take thousands and thousands of individuals and you give them a certain stimulus, then yes, that group of individuals can be easily predicted. You know, you scream fire with 10,000 individuals in a room and you know exactly what they're gonna do. And I think this is a type of mind manipulation. I think they're there in a way telling us that we have to be these kind of slaves in this demonic type sense. Look at this. I mean, they got these artificial intelligence, red BBI, demonic looking beings, and there's no reason for this. I mean, look, this was sponsored by Pepsi, so I will say that the colors of blue and red makes sense in the sense of this sponsorship, but still, when you saw his weird surgical, I just came out of the hospital outfit, I mean, that absolutely makes no sense. So, okay, so yeah, call it this Pepsi symbols. I'm looking at this, I'm looking at the background with the red fog, and I'm seeing literally the gates of hell opening right here. I'm not joking. And the reason why I would even assume things like this is because it's not the first time that we've seen biblical symbolism being shown in the halftime show. Let me show you what I'm talking about.
Then I saw a second beast coming out of the earth. It had 2 horns like a lamb, but it spoke like a dragon. It exercised all the authority, the first beast, on its behalf, and made the earth and its inhabitants worship the first beast, whose fatal wound had been healed. And it performed great signs, even causing fire to come down from heaven to the earth in full view of the people. Because of the signs, it was given power to perform on behalf of the first beast. It deceived the inhabitants of earth. It ordered them to set up an image in honor of the beast who was wounded by the sword and yet lived. The second beast was given power to give breath to the image of the first beast, so that the image could speak and cause all who refused to worship the image to be killed. It also forced all people, great and small, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hands or on their foreheads, so that they could not buy or sell unless they had the mark, which is the name of the beast or the number of its name. This calls for wisdom. Let the person who has insight calculate the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man. That number is 666.
Look at this. He enters this really distorted, very weird Hall of Mirrors type of place. Look how distorted it is. Look how weird his face is and how they distort all the imagery and the kind of reflections that are present everywhere. Now, at first I would have thought, okay, maybe this is just a type of show. It doesn't really mean anything. But then when you start reading what's saying in the background, like it says gone. Over here, it's hard to read, but look, it says feel nothing. Gone. Feel nothing. As if your life has just gone away, and they've been able to just take away from you with no repercussions. Hey, I'm just going to take your life. You're just going to be my little artificial intelligence slave, just like you see these weird looking demonic artificial intelligence beings in the background. So going back to the Hall of Mirrors, I wanted to show you something because this is kind of interesting. Okay, so when you type House of Mirrors, I said Hall of Mirrors, but I meant House of Mirrors. Check this out. So let's just go to Wikipedia. And I found it really interesting because, I mean, we all know what a House of Mirrors is. It's something that you see in amusement parks. But look at the literary references that it has. It was depicted in The Phantom of the Opera. It was depicted in Batman, The Dark Knight Returns.
Does it depress you to know just how alone you really are?
And then we also saw it in Woody Allen's Manhattan Murder Mystery, which directly refers from the mirror scene of the film from The Lady from Shanghai, which is an Orson Welles story. Then we got Enter the Dragon with Bruce Lee. Remember how Bruce Lee's son was killed on set by accident? And apparently, I don't know if you heard this, but apparently Bruce Lee's family was cursed. Then we have Walt Disney with Something Wicked This Way Comes, which is actually, despite being made by Walt Disney, it's actually an American dark fantasy horror film. Of course, we got the movie Us, which is also another horror film. And I almost forgot, John Wick Chapter 2, as it states here, in a multi-floor modern art museum exhibit called Reflections of the Soul, ladies and gentlemen. So that's where he's at right now in the halftime show. So we've gone over the words. It says gone, feel nothing. And there's one other one that I want to show you real quick. And that is right over here. Alone, ladies and gentlemen. Not are you just masked slaves, but you are going to feel nothing. It's all gone. Your entire life is gone. And you're alone with these chaotic, mash beating slaves just mosh pitting themselves into this weird, freaky Hall of Mirrors scene. I mean, look, this is not coincidental. These are very subliminal, very strong symbols that they're showing. You know, look, the fact that they're wearing red, the fact that they're all strangely, it just, there's nothing artistic about this. This is just straight up like something that you'd see in like Eyes Wide Open or some shit like that. So then moving forward, he finally leaves the house of the reflections of the souls and then enters the scene with the moon, of course. Of course, you have to have the moon because, you know, there's no demonic story without the moon goddesses or the moon gods. And I always thought it was weird that all those little buildings, as if like cities in the entire world were in a way being taken over, and they're just, and look at this demonic mask too. Look how disturbing that is, man. Almost looks like a skull with the cities, like almost like Play-Doh. Like the cities are just like something you'd see in a Godzilla set, like they're easily controlled. And we haven't even gone over these words. Check this out, what's happening in the background. Touch, hours, alone, again. And then it's kind of hard to read here, but it says long enough. As if the people haven't been complaining that this pandemic has been way too long, that all these businesses are being destroyed. But it's as if they're slapping us in the face by saying, long enough. Oh, ha, ha, ha. Yes, it has been long enough. And then check this out. So then we go to the football field, and what are they doing? What is this? Because what this reminds me of, and maybe you're already thinking about this, let me show you real quick. Is the Red Communist Party. That's how they march. And something else that I noticed with the scene is that there's this weird mixture of like, kind of like how the House of Mirrors was very chaotic. There's a weird mix of order and chaos, as if there's like a battle between order versus chaos. And now let me keep playing. See, now they're getting all chaotic. So they're look at this. It's as if they're like marching or protesting, or I don't know what this is. But before they're marching in perfect unison, like they're part of the CCP, we already had the artificial intelligence, red glowing eye, BB-eyed slaves. Now we have these assholes with this weird surgical mask, pretending like somehow this is okay, like this is something that we should all accept. Like, give me a break, man. What are you trying to inflict on us? Like, what kind of message is this? There's nothing artistic about this. And look at how they kind of do this weird spiral circle. And are you seeing this with the light coming out of their hands? Do you know what this means? That the light is coming out of their hands? It's a very simple symbolism. And we've seen this before. Look at this. It's the eye of the province coming out of the hand. This is something that we've seen before with Illuminati symbolism. It's not like another halftime performer hasn't indicated the eye of the Illuminati. Now we got the eye coming out of the hand. You see how there's little sparks going all over the place? Well, that means illumination. The eye of the province is illuminated. Look at this. Yeah, we're not stupid. We can see these symbols. And this is why we're making this episode, to give you, ladies and gentlemen, this information as soon as possible while the Super Bowl is happening. I'm not skipping a beat with this one. I'm letting people know what's happening here, because this is bullshit. I'm just tired of this. Look, I had a friend who was part of a big boys band. They were kind of like a boys to men band back in the show. He has like, I don't know how many songs in karaoke bars. Like if you go to any karaoke bar, you can see his songs. And he used to do videos with this type of symbolisms. Of course, in his opinion, it was no big deal. He said they just do this to get people's attention. And I never really agreed with this interpretation, because that's just his interpretation as an artist. When I think about it psychologically, there's no reason why people would be drawn to this type of symbols. This doesn't make people want to see your thing. People are not seeking demonism. They're not seeking demonic symbols. They don't think, oh, it's so cool that you put a pyramid here, or you make somebody look like they're slitting their throat, or like this dude in the very end, like he's got like OJ's glove on. Like, yeah, okay, cool. You got that nice little devil red suit with the OJ Simpson glove. Very cool, man. Is that glove too tight, or what's going on here? So, anyways, you can take this as you will, and just let me know what you think, what your interpretation is of this. I want you guys to be our slaves, except that you're going to be alone type of halftime show. It feels like they're just pissing on us and laughing at us. Like, shut your mouths. You're going to be alone. You're going to and we're going to shove the words onto you. We're going to literally tell you in your face to billions of people watching this that it's been long enough, that you should feel nothing, that this is all about being alone, while we flash demonic looking symbolisms in your face, and you're just going to be way too stupid to realize the subliminal messages that we're shoving down your throat, or shoving down your mind, your spirituality, however you want to see it. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that is the episode for today. Thank you for joining me. This is Felipe speaking, signing out.